Yo, what's up, Louie? Whitey Whitey, I'm up to get down. Right on, man. Appreciate you guys being here. So, wait for a few more people to get in here. What's up, press? Yay, yay. I'm keeping my fingers crossed with this tripod. The little thing that's holding my phone, it's part of it broke yesterday. So it's just hanging on by one little thing there. Yeah, well, I'll show you guys after I get done here. But it's barely hanging on, holding my phone. Yes, sir. 1,000 subs. I only reached it about I think about 3, 4 weeks ago. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. Hope we get some more people up in here. What's up, Caveman? Camped up Caveman. What's happening? Yeah. Press on, press harder, press right now. I guess we'll wait another minute and then we'll just go ahead and get started, guys. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make you a mod, press harder, so you can go ahead and add your link. Okay, folks, I guess we'll go ahead and get right into it. You know, this is chapter 6, and it's called Growing a Town. This is around Benson, guys. During the economic scare between 1907 and 1912, the railroads pulled out of Benson. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Wait for this noisy ass truck to go by. During the economic scare between 1907 and 1912, the railroads pulled out of Benson one by one and set up operations in Tucson. The Sonoran line from Nogales was rerouted to Tucson instead. Apache Powder Company still required rail service, but service farther south was soon curtailed. Southern Pacific maintained a depot in Benson until the 1970s, then that too was abandoned. Ranching and agriculture stepped in to save the day. With artesian water in plentiful supply, once a well was drilled in the right place, farmers no longer had to rely on river water and rainfall to irrigate. Green fields of alfalfa, oats, barley, corn, squash, and cotton sparkled in the sun. Benson took on the look of a modern western town with cowboys in abundance. During World War I, the federal government took over operation of the nation's railroads, hampering growth of the industry, but since Benson had already suffered loss of its status as a railroad hub, the town felt only a positive effect from the increase of railroad traffic. Increased automobile traffic brought auto courts and restaurants to Benson. State Route 86 was graded, making Benson directly to Lordsburg, New Mexico. Although only a dirt trail until 1941, State Route 86 still reduced traveling time between east and west by over 60 miles over the established route. State Route 80, southern Arizona, also began to entice tourists as dude ranches and rodeos proliferated. At the end of the 1920s, Benson had a growth spurt, building new schools and a town hall. Another growth spurt happened after World War II, with new churches and another new school. But Benson is hard on buildings. The soil in this precipitous valley slips and slides, ruining some. In the 1970s, an arsonist targeted schools, the museum, and the movie theater. Rash decisions were made following some of these crises, and buildings were destroyed rather than repaired. Consequently, Benson lost much of its ambiance. Hey, right on, man, right on. Thanks, Mighty Whitey. Homes along 6th Street on a snow day in the 1940s portray a modest life for most Benson residents. When the Sunset Trail connected Lordsburg, New Mexico to Benson in the 1930s, automobiles no longer had to take a time-consuming loop through Douglas. 4th Street illustrates the importance of automobiles to the commerce of town, where once the rails of the Arizona and Southeastern Railroad lay. Now gas filling stations abandon the street, while restaurants and bars still deck the other, often offering travelers a variety of refreshments. Hey, what's up, GW? Dr. James Morrison and his wife Petra sit in rockers on their porch. They lived through the changes in Benson from railroad town to the modern era. He was also a lawyer and is known to have once represented Lady Outlaw Pearl Hart. In 1937, he stands before his office window below, printed with his distinction from other doctors, Desert Surgeon, a title he earned by reattaching the severed legs of a Mormon child who had been injured in a haying accident. Both legs recovered and the child lived a normal and productive life. Wow, that's amazing. Dr. Morrison arrived in Benson in 1898 and died quite poor in 1941, with many people owing him money. His grave, unadorned for years, finally received a stone in 2007, thanks to the efforts of Louise Larson of Pomerine. Looking north down Patagonia Street about 1940, Benson Grammar School and Benson High School occupy the large campus to the left. The town has grown south past Ninth Street. Patagonia Street is still dirt, and down the west side runs a drainage canal. In 1896, violent storms caused a flood that swept an early home down the street all the way to the San Pedro River, killing 7 people. Hey, what's up, John Eagle? What's happening, bro? One of the reasons for Benson's growth was Apache Powder Company, a subsidiary of Phelps Dodge, which was built near St. David in 1920 to provide explosives for the mines. The plant's executives lived in homes built along 6th Street west of Patagonia Street, and the plant employed around 200 people. Later changed production to ammonium nitrate used in farming, and it still operates today. Inside Apache Powder Works, the front of the smokeless engine can be seen at the end of tracks laid to move materials around. Smokeless was necessary because Apache produced explosives. Inside the building, the engine ran on 2x4s to prevent sparks. The shed to the right was reinforced to withstand explosions. Inside the shop, machinery seems idle at this time. Apache Powder doubtless was built far from town in case of error that might cause an explosion. It has not been without errors. Back in town, commercial enterprises changed with the times. Benson Home Supply, at the southwest corner of Huachuca and 4th Streets, seems ready for a variety of needs, from engine belts on the walls to furniture and dishes for the home, and groceries too, of course. Social clubs filled a dual need: the need for ladies to get together and the need for projects to be done around town. In 1928, the Benson Women's Club joined the talents of, from left to right, Miss J. Emmons, Miss Josephine Getzwiller, Miss Leon Moss, Miss Davis, Miss Mary Bard, Miss Jones and Miss C.S. Powell. Another group of women meet in the 1940s to honor Miss Mary Smith as Arizona's first woman banker. Mary Smith, first row to the right, a lawyer and a bank officer, shared her knowledge with a wide range of state colleagues. The Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative Board, shown around 1960, include three men from the San Pedro Valley. In the first row, from far left to right, there were Franklin East, Pomerine, James Karshner, St. David, and Mervyn Davis from Benson. By the 1940s, Benson had a volunteer fire department with an enthusiastic crew of able-bodied men. There's all the names right there, guys. Pete Radovinovich drives the older hose and ladder truck. No doubt the truck behind him was new at this time. The water tower in the background places this location close to Gila Street. Coincidentally, Benson's fire station is currently at Gila and 7th Street. These firefighters vary in age and experience, but the one at lower right appears to have just left the Navy around 1940. Albert Coma Duran is second from left in the first row with Eddie Robinson next to him. Third from left, Eddie was later a chief. Benson Volunteer Fire Department around 1960 still used the 1940s equipment. At left, a 1946 Ford Howe pumper, and right, the Dodge was surplus pumper. Some of the firemen are the same as well. Young James M. Hester came to Benson in 1945 after military service at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson and bought the practice of Dr. Alexander N. Schoen. A strapping lad, James had wrestled in high school and college in Oklahoma, and he had taught wrestling as well. In 1946, James commissioned work on a hospital at the corner of 6th and Huachuca Streets. Built of adobe blocks and completed in 1948, the Benson Hospital answered the needs of a growing community for advanced health care, growing to a capacity of 20 beds. guys. Is anybody there? There's 0 people in chat right now. I don't know if anybody's in there. Alright, guys. Let's continue. In his haste to get an automobile accident west of town in 1950, Doc Hesser rolled his car, severing his spine. Despite being confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life, he continued working in medicine, building a practice and improving in his hospital. In 1960, he retired and moved to his farm in St. David, selling the practice to Doctors Max and Dean Karchner. The hospital remained in operation until a new hospital was built in the 1970s, and then this building became a city property, housing the library and police department, until it was torn down in 1988 to make way for a new library. Okay, guys, can you leave me a comment or something? Because I keep getting 0 people in chat right now. I don't know if anybody's there. The first Benson Town Hall and Fire Department, built around 1936, continued a mission style of architecture perhaps inspired by the previous construction of Benson Grammar School by Josiah Jessler and echoed by the new Benson Hospital down the street in 1946. Another shot of Benson Town Hall shows the corner and fire hydrant at Huachuca and 5th Streets. The residential streets remained unpaved until 1966. A new town hall was erected on the same site. Oh, there's nobody's there. Hey guys, well I guess I'm not done with this chapter yet, but I guess I'll just go ahead and shut the stream down since I don't know, man. This is cool. Well, I didn't finish this chapter, so because it says 0 people in chat right now, so Oh well. I guess it's not that entertaining anymore. Yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate it.